We got to court this morning. Got to court this morning, and all of a sudden, the court did not sit. Something that is typical about the Nigerian judicial system. That's why cases last forever. Because sometimes the lawyer is ready to prosecute the matter to the end and seriously, but you have delays from all angles. They said the judge was on a Zoom meeting, so one wonders why we were not told of the inability of the court to sit beforehand, you know. So there are a couple of things. There are five things which I think should be done if we are really ready to ensure that our cases are executed timeously. In other words, there are five things I think should be done to make the judicial system work faster, faster, faster. The first one is simple. It's high time judges stop writing with shorthand. If you look at the American justice system, the judge simply sits and listens while there's a stenographer who takes down notes basically and quickly. But in our system, you see the judge writing with, you know, pen and paper, quite traditional and old. That causes enormous delay because the judge now has to listen and then make sure he takes down everything that happens word for word, and that's an enormous um, cause of delay. So the second thing is communication. I think basically communication between the courts, the lawyers, and the litigants. If the court will not sit, for example, it is the duty of the clerks of court to send messages to the lawyers on time so that they can save cost of traveling from far destinations to come to court. And nowadays you have lawyer groups on WhatsApp and all of that, so it's easy to even post those information there on those groups so that lawyers can get access to it. And then once you're aware that the court is not sitting maybe a day before, you get to change your priorities. You also inform the client on time so that the day is not wasted. So the first thing is shorthand. It needs to go. It needs to go. Then second, the communication is key. I think that the courts needs to prioritize communication with lawyers and litigants. That's another source of delay. The next thing is long adjournments of cases. Long adjournments of cases. Most times, some courts are usually overburdened with so many cases. So even if you look at the court's diary, you get to see that the only available space is over 3 weeks, over a month, and all of that. So that also helps in causing the delay. So maybe in the assignment of cases, I think it should be such that cases are evenly distributed among the courts. That way, one court will not be overburdened with so many cases. So I think that's the third thing that should be done to ensure that there's speed in the delivery of justice. I think the fourth thing I would suggest is every case, every matter, every type of matter should be time bound. Every matter should be time bound. If you look at pre-election matters, they are very, very strictly bound by time. We look at election petition cases too. You have specific number of days, and then you see lawyers performing miracles just to meet up with this date, and they do meet up with those time parameters that are set. But you don't have this in regular cases, and as a result of that, there's this latitude, and lawyers take advantage of that to delay if they have to, and all of that. So I think if every case has a specific time limit, it will make sure that all parties involved do their best to meet up with that time. So let's say a case involving defamation. I think the rules can say, okay, it should not exceed 2 months, it should not exceed 3 months. That way, everybody will try to make sure that the time limit is not exceeded, you know. So, because we have seen it work in other cases, you know. I don't know if it's because of the nature of elections in the country. That's why every election related case seems to fly so fast. But the other sectors, the other areas are suffering immensely. So that's the fourth thing I'll suggest. Then the fifth thing I'll suggest is judges sitting on time. Judges sitting on time so that much can be accomplished in a day. You know, officially, remember when we were in law school, they said the time of the court is 9 o'clock or so soon thereafter. Unfortunately, many judges and justices have decided to take advantage of the so soon thereafter clause. Some sit by 12, some sit by 11, and all of that. So, if everybody sits by 9 o'clock, the possibility of making immense progress before 12 p.m. is um, easier, and then much more can be achieved. So that's my 2 cents about the speed in the judicial system. I think that's what we should do if we are to have a change, because the current system is unsustainable, you know. And then the issue of maximizing technological improvements is another subject area that we'll discuss some other day. Technology has to be imbibed into every area of legal practice. That's the only way we would survive and make litigation not to be a ghost in a shell, I guess. That's it. That's my